the touchback. They come up in an offset eye. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. Give him 11 on the game there, and that'll be good for a Seattle first down.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
First carry for Thomas Rawls. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Dante Fowler just made a play that he could be really proud of there. Nice tackle for loss, and what a relief it is for him to be back on an NFL field after missing his entire rookie season with a knee injury.
I think the entire defensive unit is relieved that he's out there. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go. So 2nd down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on 3rd. On 3rd down, Wilson. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Cyprien. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Bortles was accident-prone last year, led the league with 18 picks and an early pick here.
And you know he spent a lot of time in the offseason working on this, thinking about it. It's not that he's not going to throw any. They just hope that that number gets cut down significantly.
The tackle was made by Michael Bennett. Great play there off the end. Question, Charles, in a 4-3, you hear about the D tackles a lot. What's the role of the ends?
What they want to do is control the edges of the defense. And you always hear about an offense talking about setting the edge in the running game. Well, the defense wants to do exactly the same thing. In the defensive end, often against an offensive tackle, sometimes a tight end, they can't let themselves get hooked and let a running back get outside, because if they do that, that hurts the integrity of the defense overall.
My man, the encyclopedia. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. 18 yards there and a first down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
To throw, it's Bortles. That's caught at the 2. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his 3rd catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both. And this may be a big early turning point in this Super Bowl. They're going to go for it on 4th down here. Bortles going to go on 4th down. Rolling to his right. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. It's the fullback there to make the grab. And the Jags have taken the early lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. On 1st down, Wilson. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. So incomplete on 1st. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. A fake to Rawls. Now it's Wilson. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Dante Fowler in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack, although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't, because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that, and the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you face an intentional grounding call.
So on 4th down, as seen on TV, here's their resident strongman, John Ryan, on to punt. And he did get it back, I do think, yes. So no turnover on the punt, and it'll be a 1st down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Play clock winding down. Throwing now is Bortles. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Six yards to go here on 2nd down. Bortles to throw on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. 61 yards. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly for 6. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, Those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
Wilson going to give to Rawls. Oh, nice move. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A nice, strong run there for Rawls. His coaches back in high school in Flint, Michigan, you know what his nickname was?
No, what was it?
The Train. The man can break some tackles on occasion.
Well, it makes sense when you watch runs like that, because when you're trying to deal with a train, you're supposed to get out of the way, right? And if you don't, you're going to get bruised up trying to tackle him. That's the type of runner he is. He can pop people as he goes by them.
And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Two receivers left, one to the right. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Some pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
Holding. Offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Following the penalty, it's Rawls. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now Wilson. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Throwing is Wilson. Look at the time. He's got Curse. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And you give him that much time to throw, especially on third down, he's going to pick you apart.
You've got to increase your urgency. Even if you don't blitz or bring extra people on the pass rush, the guys going after him, they've got to get home. Otherwise, exactly as you described, he picks you apart and picks up yet another first down.
Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make this a second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They come out here in the eye. To throw again is Wilson. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. To throw is Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Looking for someone to throw to. Drops it underneath for Rawls. And snapped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up first and goal. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Wilson turns and gives the Procise. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 3 on the gain there. Second and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. And the seemingly endless drive continues. On third and goal, Wilson. He's got time. That's caught at the 1. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Their big tight end, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. And that one makes it 14-7.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Getting set to go again, Blake Bortles marches back onto the field with his offense. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does, where a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
This is Marshall, and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Allen Robinson, kiss him goodbye. Touchdown, Jaguars. Extra point attempt to follow here. It's good, and it is now 21-7. set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And quickly they get to the line. Now Wilson on second down. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd learned a ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And the offense moving quickly to the line. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up a second down. Throwing again here, Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 3rd and 2, now Wilson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's John Ryan now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taken in at the 11. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Wide open receiver complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. On first down, Bortles. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of...
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Darren Waller as the first half is winding down. And the Jaguars had 6 to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The drive begins with a run by Rose. And he powers his way up past the 30. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On second down, here's Wilson. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. 15 yards there for number 15.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. So these two teams will head back. You seriously just skip the halftime of the Super Bowl? Who does that? It's a Super Bowl. Watch the halftime show. All right, here we go. Third quarter action now. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use his speed to get there in the run game. That's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing because they got stuffed on a running play on first down. And I think myself and probably the fans were saying throw the football in this situation. They knew what he was doing, called another run, and now they got third and short.
A pickup of 5 that time and a first down.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run. Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And here's Marshall, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Man, how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. And here comes the Jags defense as they get back out there. They'll come out in the pistol. They start on the ground with Rawls. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Complete outright to Kurz. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Fresh set of downs here.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Dante Fowler in on the stop. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
It was a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
First down, this is Rawls. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. Tackle made there by Ben Heaney.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
3rd and short, it's Brosize. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating
into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. And they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Down to the 25. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
It's complete to Lockett. That'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They run with a power back. Rawls. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. They'll run with Marshall. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. Now Marshall. Cuts back, left sideline. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why their points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
So it'll be first down here after the run.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
And the play clock's running down, and they'll go ground game here with the tailback. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Defense.
Thought he may have gotten away with one there, but the ref caught him, and it's holding. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Time running out here on the play clock. Now a handoff here to his running back. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
Now Bortles, flushed out right. He may try and run for this. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big 1st down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal. They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive, and they want to finish it off the same way.
They're going to hurry back to the line now. Good play here. 3rd down and goal from the 2. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. And the Jaguars...
Ladies and gentlemen, we got I bought the band. And we need all the ladies to report on the dance floor. And you know my slogan, no fighting in the hall.
Poppin' knock it when I met you, shorty had the long extension. Told her I'm a bad man, but I only got the best intentions. Tougher, not a bluffer.